Hello everyone, this is Shokora Zouheikyoku aka chocomint, and welcome back to our Let's Play of What Remains of Us. In the last playthrough, we have met a familiar stranger at our shop, and we have been taking care of him for a while, trying to learn what has happened and how to move on after that, because I don't think he can stay in the shop forever or something. Maybe we can make arrangements or something like that. But that will be for today's video to see what will happen next. And so let's go. You lean over their bronze forms, attempting to wrap onto your journal without waking them up. Really, it was kind of your fault for leaving it there in the first place. But who were you to know that they couldn't even wait until after dinner to begin coupling? You suppose it would be distasteful if you wrote in an account of the Guardian's sexual misadventures into his biography? Never mind that he's your best friend. You pointedly avoid looking at both of them as you stretch your arm even further. Just a bit more.
Salvi?
Well, shite. You chance a look down only to see that they're both awake and looking right at you. Ooh, wowie. You chuckle awkwardly and pull away, trying your damnedest to get out of the situation immediately, but there's a large clawed hand circling your wrist and...
You're heavy, Salvi. Scoot over.
You grunt as you bodily dragged and slotted in between the two. Gosh, how did you end up here?
You're thinking too loud.
You turn your head to Divina. She looks amused, isolated no doubt from that rude awakening.
Should I report you to the council for mind reading now?
You snuffle petulantly. She rolls her eyes and scooches over to sling an arm around your waist. Oh wow. Looks very comfy and warm, I guess. At your other side, Dante is the same, their hands jolly over your stomach.
Go to sleep, Salvi.
They murmur softly. Divina's head is at your shoulder and Dante has taken to burying their face in your neck and... Oh! Gosh, you shouldn't get used to this, should you? It was doomed to fail from the start. You're broken out of your reverie by Divina entering. You're in her bedroom, hands in your lap as you sit on her bed, feeling far too much like a bride waiting for her groom. Oh my, that description though, sir! When you chance a look at Divina, she is dressed in a nightgown that exposes much of the neck and collarbone and... Well then. Oh my, that's a very comfy nightgown actually. Very. You exhale, averting your gaze from her body. It's not the first time you understood why Dante wanted her, loved her instead of you. You've resolved yourself to not look at her the whole night when a lump of cloth hits you in the head. You sputter and brave at it. To your surprise, it's another nightgown, tailored to your size and brand new? You look up at her. Apparently, you two are of the same mind, because she is resolutely looking away as well.
Get dressed. I had your clothes repaired and they should be ready in the morning.
I can't just undress in front of you.
You say, indignant.
Has 3 months turned you into a blushing maiden? I already took off your pants when I first bathed you, Salvi. Besides, I've seen you fleeing butt naked from enough angered spouses to last me a lifetime.
Oh my. What did he do? She snorts.
But if you truly wish for privacy, then I can make myself scarce.
She pauses and thought. That would be nice. No, stay. Oh my.
No. No, it's fine. You can stay.
You murmur. Her breath hitches. Didn't expect that response then.
All right, I'll look away then.
What happened to, I've seen you naked enough times to last me a lifetime?
You snicker.
Those were accidents.
And bathing me?
Medical emergency.
Sure.
Always so practical.
She hugs and kisses her back turned towards you. A valiant show of restraint, if you're honest. If it were you, you would have at least twitched by now. You look at the cloth in your lap and run your fingers over the soft material. Cotton, just like you refer. You lift it over your head and shimmy it over your body, carefully not to undo any work Divina did to your torso. Use mine. It's a good fit. That's just big enough to please you immensely. Ooh, nice. Why is the neck is like plunging though? He really likes to free the testicle, huh? You adjust how it settles over your legs for a few moments before slipping your pants off. Oh. It's only now, 3 days later, that you realize these aren't actually your pants. You shake your head at your own stupidity. You fold the pants and deposit them by the nightstand.
Are you done?
Quite.
You're grinning when you reply. Divina makes her way over to the other side of the bed, occasionally stealing glances at you, and it warms your heart to be reminded that you aren't alone in this, whatever this is, going on between you two. It feels nice to be wanted, even if it's not in the way you refer. Even if she can't love you in return. You slip under the covers the same time she does. You mutter a quick spell and the lanterns flicker shut. Her back is turned towards you, careful to keep some distance between your bodies, so you can turn your back as well. It's a small bed, barely enough space to keep you apart. You itch to reach over, but it's not your place. So you keep your hands to yourself, folded right over your torso like they have both held you ages ago. You suppose it's fitting that you spend far more intimate times with strangers, and yet your heart never ached at the memory. But the thought of that night alone could have you rolling stones for the rest of eternity. They never did ask you to come sleep with them again. Maybe you smelt? Divina was never fond of floral scents, but you can't help it if you naturally smell like lavender. Which probably makes you sound like an overconfident twit, but you're not human, so you get a pass.
Are you not bothered by it?
By what?
I told you I loved him. I know you're not seeing each other anymore, but most people would have had a reaction to that. Especially considering I've known both of you for so long.
There's a shuffling behind you, and for a moment, it feels as if she could set you alight with her judgment alone.
I always knew.
What?
Your breath hitches.
It's in your eyes, Selvi. The way the two of you looked at each other. I admit, I was jealous at first, before I realized Dante had room in their heart for more than just one.
What do you mean?
She pulls at your arm until you're forced to look at her. She raises her hand up and cups your cheek. Divina eyes are light with magic, and you know then that you are not alone in this moment. You ignore it, leaning into her hand and reveling in the way she runs her thumb across your cheek. If Dante sees, then it's their own fault, not yours. Regions are a two-way street, and it's no business of yours if they're stupid enough to cross.
Do you really think yourself so unlovable?
They never loved me. As a pet, maybe, but
You scoff. She looks at you, the disappointment clear in her eyes, and you know you've said the wrong thing. You can't bring yourself to care. The light in her eyes sputters out, and it's enough for you to know you're alone once more. Dante laughed. Good riddance. She pulls her hand away, instead placing it over your heart. She doesn't say anything about what you just done, and it makes you feel far worse than if she just did.
We both know they're an idiot, love.
And isn't that unfair? Calling you that, knowing full well you can't help but listen.
But they're our idiot. For better or worse. We know they're not good with emotions. But they love you. Have loved you for longer than you'll ever know. And I can't believe they're so much of an idiot to let their self-sacrificing nature get in the way of you both.
He placed a hand over hers and squeezed. She curls her fingers and before intertwining them with yours.
But the question is, do you love them still?
Oh wait, we got to choose? That's a good question. This is a kind of difficult choice actually. Because kind of like he loved not Dante, but why were we given a choice of this though? I thought it's like we were supposed to only see their only point of view and not making the choice for them. I mean, love is a difficult emotion. So if he said that no, it's kind of very cool and very decisive, which is I don't think is logical, I guess. It, of course, is definitely not the yes here. Yes here is I don't want to choose that yet over here. Yes over here because come on. It's not healthy to continue to chase after someone who has abandoned you and everything. So the good option is I don't know, but I really want to choose to know. It's just not that logical, or sounds like kind of like more of a lie. So I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I can already feel myself forgiving them, but
You admit.
It's okay, Selvi.
She nods in understanding. She shifts, tucking her head underneath your chin.
Take your time. It took me ages after I left to stop blaming them. Blaming you both for how the council treated me.
we deserve your anger. We could have done something, anything to let you stay, but
You confess.
What's done is done, love. We've all suffered far too much.
There's a pained expression on her face as she shakes her head.
We can't change what people think. At least, not that quickly. We can only hope that the future is kinder to those of our ilk. After all, you gave up your life for a reason. Don't. We both damn well know giving up your magic was a death sentence. You're not human, Selvi. You're made of the powers that we can only hope to harness. No matter what our living saint has done, I'm thankful for this one blessing. I don't know what I'd do if you were gone because of that accursed council. Perhaps I'd finally be the monster they always hoped I'd be.
I have my magic back, you know.
Your mouth goes dry, and from a lack of answer, you instead reply.
I know. And I also know that you'll be a force to be reckoned with once you return to it.
Comfortable silence settles over you both, broken only by the sound of her breathing.
It's funny. When you came in here, I expected you to still breathe in time with Dante. And then I expected you to not breathe at all. And yet...
He chuckles.
And yet I breathe in time with the deep woods.
You finish for her.
As I once did. As I should always have. No binding contracts. No ritual suppressions. I do not belong to anyone but the ground beneath my feet. I go where the world takes me. Withered down by the eastern winds. And I will lay down my roots when I am dead.
And yet the ground is pulled asunder from where you once lay. You cannot stop yourself from laying claim to the world around you. It is your right, much more than it is ours.
He murmurs.
I do not lay claim. I am the world as much as my siblings and my elders. As much as the siren song that lights your skin with its final sickening wail. You can take from me as you wish. It is my nature to provide.
You smile. She purses her lips and laughs into your chest. It's muffled, barely even there, but it vibrates its way straight to your heart.
Will that be in your next book? An autobiography, perhaps? Years of heartbreak with an undercurrent of the failings of humanity.
You haven't failed me yet, have you?
You snort.
I've failed both of you far more than you deserve.
Their smile weakens, curdling like salt milk. Also, I noticed that the pronouns choice sometimes is slipped. Maybe it's just the coding, or they just forgot. So, despite choosing the pronouns, she, her, sometimes it's just their, not she, her. So, just a note. It's nothing serious, but that's an interesting note. So, I would say our pronouns is now like she, they, so two pronouns.
And yet, you still return in the end.
You mutter. You both fall into silence, your words weighing heavy in the air. A question nags at the back of your mind, begging to be answered.
Do you love them still?
You expect her to mull it over, to weigh the consequence of Dante's actions on a far heavier scale. After all, it has been 3 months since everything. But her answer is immediate, and you're floored by the conviction in it.
I do. And I suppose I'm lucky, considering I left of my own volition. But I still love them, faults and all. And I don't think I'll ever stop. They make mistakes, so many of them. But
You nod slowly, settling further into the pillows.
they still return. In the end.
She murmurs, echoing you in kind.
In the end.
Go to sleep, Salvi. Tomorrow. Dawn.
She yarns.
Tomorrow. Dawn.
The fire dances behind both of you, warming your frigid bodies in the cold night. All around you it is quiet, broken only by the crackle of fire and gusts of wind. Occasionally there is a screech in the distance that gets louder and louder, until it catches sight of you three and turns tail. It was amusing, and all too convenient if you're honest. Still, you don't care enough to ruminate on it further. At the very least, you don't have to tire yourself out on them.
I love him.
You turn to Dante. The confession hangs in the air, still in their every breath. You say nothing, lest a stray word snuff out the rest of the courage. Even here, without fears looming over all of you, you would still choose to stay by their side.
I have for a while. But I didn't know how to tell you. How to make sure you didn't feel as if you were some consolation prize. That I loved you as much as I love him. But then came the matters of court and the army and...
I know.
They look at you, their expression pained. There are bags under their eyes far worse than you ever seen them. You will soothe them away and sing them to sleep were you not trying to conserve your magic, or possibly your worst decision yet. You look past them at the vast and the endless sea where the sky meets the horizon in an all-consuming, starless black, where the serpent is set to awaken and rise from the depths to plunge the world in darkness. Behind you, Salvi is sound asleep.
I'm sorry.
You take the hand in yours, pressing tender kisses along the knuckles. They are calloused and worn from years on the road, but you love them all the same.
Don't be. I love him too.
You murmur.
I know.
They breathe in, drawing your hand to their lips.
I see it in your eyes.
You press your hand against the cheek, savoring your last moment together before what may very well be the end of all things. I see. So it's like, yeah, it's bully, alright. It's definitely bully, but the relationship is kind of complicated here. Oh dear.
If I don't survive, tell him for me.
You smile and raise your brow wordlessly, brushing your knuckles against the cheek. If they confess to Salvi, then it should be on their own terms. Dante shakes the head. A smile goes to the edge of his lips.
Yeah. Yeah, I should.
They juggle. You cannot use magic to ease away their troubles, but you can do what you can with all that you have.
Let's go to sleep, love. Tomorrow is the last dawn of the old age.
They throw one last glance at the abyss, at the decomposing corpse of a goddess, as it consumes the sky in its inky depths. The weight of the world presses down on their shoulders.
Tomorrow. Dawn.
You wake to rumble sheets and an empty bed. The space beside you is warm, the only sign that you aren't delusional. What happened last night was real. You rise and rub the sleep from your eyes. The bed is still warm, so he shouldn't be too far gone. Probably just went to take a something. Always had a poor bladder. That one. You comb your fingers through your hair to untangle it and replace your tie with a ribbon. With that out of the way, you lay your hand down beside you, only to be met with a note. You raise it to your eyes and begin to read.
Dante is sentenced to death in 10 days' time.
It stays, and your heart sinks in your chest.
They plan to kill them, to keep the legend alive and burn the soul underneath it. The council has been planning this for months. I should have known, yet I was too blind from the grief of you to see the noose tightening around our necks. You know I can't let this happen. I hope you can forgive me. Just this once. Thank you for everything, darling. Run. Find your name. Live a life far away from this. You deserve bounds more than the paltry hopes we feed on. If I don't come back, know that I have failed. On the nightstand is my ring. Keep it safe. I love you.
You clutch on the note and spring forward to your living room. That idiot! That blithering self-sacrificing fool! All this talk of Dante's failings, and he cannot stop himself from doing the same. You suppose it should come as no surprise, yet you're all self-sacrificing nitwits. No sane person would march headfirst into the abyss as you all once had. And yet, look where your bravery has led you now. You get to the living room just as he's about to leave through the back door. And with a harsh pull, you drag him right back in. Ooh, wow. Oh, I noticed that there's only one of his rings left. Ooh. I like the detail. He falls down with you on top of him.
You fucking imbecile!
You huff, adrenaline still coursing through your veins. All color has drained from his face, as if he wasn't already deathly bound to begin with. There are tears streaming down your eyes and you do not care enough to stop them. If he feels guilty over it, then it's his own damn fault. You knew by his eye and grabbed at his collar. The bastard had somehow gotten his clothes back while you were asleep, but you're much too incensed to laugh at his strange spikes of confidence.
Did you not even once consider that I would want to come with you? That I would want to save one of my best friends?
You cry out, voice cracking far more than you like. He stares at you, mouth agape.
You self-sacrificing lot only think of yourselves. I love you, you blithering fool.
Your hands fall from his collar onto his chest. You lean forward, your forehead bumping into his.
I can't lose you again.
He's quiet, beating fast against your arms, beating in time with you. You don't know how much time has elapsed when he leaves his hand up to your face, tongue caressing your cheek. He leans in, eyes lidded.
Can I kiss you?
Oh my god! Okay, sir. Okay. Oh my god.
Yes.
You sign against his lips, the fight's given out from you. He presses his lips against yours and is exactly as you imagined it all those years ago. His lips are soft and cloyingly sweet. His skin smells of lavender and morning rain. His hand is in your hair, pulling you closer and closer to him. You are home. When you finally come up for air, you collapse into him, arms tangled behind his neck.
You already laid down your roots, love. Can't take you from here.
He murmurs, but you know he's already made up his mind despite himself.
My roots. My roots are with both of you. I thought that would have been obvious by now.
You scoff. He chuckles, so light and warm you could mistake him for the sun itself.
You have buried yours within me, 6 feet deep, and I shall carry them to my grave. I will guard them until nature runs its course. Until all traces of me are no more.
He's breathless, as lit with want.
I'm sorry for taking so long.
He mutters against your hair, drawling soft kisses along your neck. Cheeky bastard.
You're forgiven. For this, that is. But not for everything else. You have much apologizing to do.
You answer, pushing him back before it starts going too far. Albie laughs, and it is bright and pretty and beautiful.
Let's get our idiot back.
You smile at him, and the hope in his eyes.
Yes, I suppose we should.
He grins. Oh, we don't have to. What? I was hoping to see the journey of getting by Dante. What? Come on. Okay. I am sad. I am saddened. I mean, this kind of ending is fine too, but oh wait, this credit though. Writer, Siyokoy, yeah. Say with me now, Siyokoy, yeah. Okay, this a funky credit. That's cute. Okay, are we going to see how they save Dante? Yes? No? Yes? Please? Why is not moving? I am confusion. Wait, I am clicking everywhere and it's not moving at all. Credit sign? Okay, it's showing, but I don't see it's moving at all. Okay. Okay. We just need some time. You never get tired of the sight of it, you think. The moon, that is. It's been almost a year since she returned, since you pulled what remained of her from the belly of the beast, and it still takes a breath away to see her in the sky, shining in the glow of her brother's love. What did it look like? The moon? Davina had asked once, her gaze cast off to the darkness above. She was beautiful, Selby replied. I wish you'd been alive to see her. And now you are. You know that she is there, guarding over you in the darkness, lighting your every step. If you had the chance to go back, you'll do it all again. There is no time left for regrets. Come out, dog! Someone shouts from the outside. Even from here you can smell it. The oil on the swords, the gunpowder waiting to be ignited. But above all else, you smell fear. They are more afraid of you than you are of them. This is kind of like a story of the hero who saved the world and then get burned to the ground by the people who he saved themselves. So that's nasty. And then in what I have read for the manga, the manga was similar plots, kind of. That hero turned into a villain or anti-hero, so revenge, I guess. Humanity is nasty in this one. Of course, there are some words that people praise the hero, and everything was fine. People has common sense. Everyone, well, not common sense. It's more like they are more kinder. They don't scare of the known. They don't scare of the power. Like the hero didn't do anything wrong or dangerous, then if that then they don't get scared or think of this kind of situation at all. That is the more brighter sign of the story about heroes and whatnot. But in the darker side, heroes are like people scared of something's different from them, scared of the known, the power and everything, and so they would want to eradicate something that is not like them. That's some nasty thoughts over there. Anyway, they always will be. Stop to no. You look down at the mask clutched between your hands. You cannot regret. You put it on, the familiar comfort of divinous magic washing over you. The bomo of a blade slams hard against your door. You cannot regret, for you had loved and were loved in return.
Wait outside. I'm coming.
And that is enough. Huh? Wait. What about her? Don't we have the epilogue? What? I am confusion. What do you mean? Huh? No. Okay, I'm going to go on a limb and play the extra to see if there's anything more after the extra, because this kind of ending is you gave me hope that I will see Divina and Sawi come help Dante, but this we only see Dante's point of view before he got executed, or maybe something else. That's
Question is, do you love them still?
yes. We hello everyone. Well, let's go back to this one and choose all the options. Since let's leave the no for the last. So yes,
Yes.
you answer and curse your traitorous heart because you mean it. There is no judgment in her eyes, only understanding. I mean, after reading through everything, I think everyone is weak for each other, and also I could understand Dante's action actually now. So yes or no is also very viable. I am more accepting to choose the yes option now because of knowing what happened. Of course, I should have thought of that, but not enough information for me. Or earlier, I was missing some information, so I didn't know what to expect or what to think about it. So now I have more information.
I do too. And I suppose I'm lucky, considering I left of my own volition. But
He murmurs.
I still love them, faults and all. And I don't think I'll ever stop.
You run your thumb over your knuckles and raise it to your lips for a kiss. She smiles softly, and it should be discomforting. The things you know you do to keep it there forever. the things you would sacrifice for her to be happy. But it's not. And yet again, you are met with the realization why exactly Dante fell in love. Why you fell in love, no matter how much jealousy has painted her visage green. But you always did love the scenery, didn't you? You pulled them in, tucking their head underneath your chin. Yeah, the pronouns here. She would destroy you, and yet every year without fail, spring would come.
Go to sleep, Selvi. Tomorrow, dawn.
Tomorrow, dawn.
You nod slowly, and drift off into the night's embrace.
But the question is, do you love them still?
No. I don't think I can, not after everything. Will I forgive them? Probably. I can already feel that this won't last long, but
You murmur.
I don't think I can love them like that anymore.
You shudder. She raised your hands to her lips and pressed soft kisses against your knuckles. There is a sadness in her eyes. What for? You're not sure.
I understand. Go to sleep, Selvi. Tomorrow, dawn.
Tomorrow, dawn.
You nod slowly, the fatigue overcoming your senses. Oh, Your consciousness drifts off into the night, so no cuddling this time.
My roots. My roots are with you. I thought that would have been obvious by now.
It's a bit different. Oh, wow. You scoff. So the last time it was Salvi is like a bully. The ending is kind of bully with Salvi and Divina, and then they went to help Dante. But this time it's more of a duo. Interesting. He chuckles, so light and warm that you could mistake him for the sun itself.
You have buried yours within me, 6 feet deep, and I shall carry them to my grave. I will guard them until nature runs its course. Until all traces of me are no more.
He's breathless, eyes lit with want.
I'm sorry for taking so long.
He mutters against your hair, drilling soft kisses along your neck. Cheeky bastard.
You're forgiven. For this, that is. But not for everything else. You have much apologizing to do.
You answer, pushing him back before he starts going too far. Salvi laughs, and it is bright and pretty and beautiful.
Let's get our friend back.
Yes. You smile at him, at the hope in his eyes. So it's a bit different. So, just a bit different, but I think it will turn out similar either way. So that's good, because we would need to get Dante back. Just because he's not like, the love isn't completely there anymore, doesn't mean that you leave him there to his demise. So
Yes, I suppose we should.
he grins. Yes. Good luck, you two. Okay, I think that's changed. I'm not sure if there's any difference points of their game that it would change the dialogues or something. But I guess that's it. They're kind of okay. We have finished the main story, yes. I'm pretty sure there's some differences too. Any changes in dialogues and everything, but I'm not going to go over that. Just trying out the 3 main options of how Salvi feels after everything, his feelings, his love. So let's go to the extra. Have you finished the main story? Yes. You place your head against the cool surface of your windowsill, mind racing with thoughts of every single way this could possibly go wrong. This was a terrible plan that you were well aware of. If you swallow past the lump in your throat, if that person was here, you'll probably be chastised for even thinking of it to begin with, but you're well aware of the consequences of your actions. And it's a risk you're more than willing to take. You breathe in the humid air and let it settle in your lungs. It'll rain soon. Outside the room, footsteps, light and barely there. The music downstairs would drown it out for everyone else, but not for you. The door creaks open and your shoulders go stiff. Dante, are you alright? Ooh, wait a minute, sir. Interesting. Your hair changed. Is it extensions or something else? Because I'm pretty sure your hair isn't that long, but it looks good on you though. Also, that dress, shirt. I don't know. We don't see the whole thing, so I'm not sure if it is a dress or a shirt. But it also looks good on you. Also showing a lot of skin too. Oh my. You tap your fingers against the wall. Once, twice. Sophie approaches but stays a reasonable distance away. You're not sure when it happened, when he started to hold back in his affections, and it scares you more than you like to admit, the thought of losing him. Oh, so this is before what happened. Like, oh yeah, that's true. I see the rings over here. So, yeah, this is the past. He still have 2 rings, so definitely in the past. The only constant in your life. But you will lose him. You have to. And he will lose you too, no matter what. You turn to him and your heart aches. He's beautiful underneath the moonlight, dressed in one of his stupid little outfits that exposes far too much of his cleavage again. Yeah, I noticed he really likes to show off that cleavage. Oh my. It's a shame you couldn't be with him tonight. You beckon him closer and there's a visible hesitance that shatters whatever confidence you have left. What are you doing? What have you done? You reached out, hand shaking, and he walks past it. Nearer and nearer. There's a desperate plea inside of you that wants. And when he touches you, it shatters. Sophie's fingers are on your mask, carefully pulling it off from your face. The word rushes back in, sounds and lights and smell and touch, and he brushes a hand against your cheek and it feels like the word could end over again. You left early, he murmurs, wiping your tears away. You hadn't even noticed you were crying. You shake your head. Couldn't handle the... Yeah, I'm not going to voice anyone. Because I just don't feel like it. Stimulus? You chuckle. Yes. Okay, actually I will voice it. Probably this time. Yeah. He nods and steps back, placing the mask on a nearby table. He hesitates again. It's unnatural to see him this quiet. Do you want to dance with me? He looks at your hand, now at your side, and then to you. You see something in his eyes that you hadn't even noticed was gone. Hope. Your heart sinks. Hope for what? For you? He was a fool to believe this could end in any other way. You were a fool for believing. He puts on a smile and proceeds to bow with an exaggerated amount of flourish. Why, of course, my dear San-san. It would be my honor. You snort and raise your hand once more. He takes the offer and delicately wraps your hand in his. The two of you are off. He dances with the experience of a man who's done it for years and carries you along with practiced ease. When he smiles at you, it's like the first peak of dawn over the horizon. Your own little son, twirling in the palm of your hand. You cannot let the council take him away. The world deserves so much more of what he can give. Your tongue weighs heavy in your mouth. What do you plan to do? You have to be a bit more specific, darling. I am planning many things. You shake your head. When all of this is over, I mean, after the council. After me. He pauses for a moment, almost making you trip over him. You don't, thankfully. What? He laughs, voice fragile. Are you going to die soon or something? You remain silent, staring at him until he gets the point. He stares back, indignant, but eventually relents. I don't know, he admits. I'll cross the bridge when I get to it. You nod slowly. Of course, Selby hasn't planned ahead for a single thing in his life. You sign and squeeze his hand. What do you mean? What do you mean this option? No. Hmm. Okay. Stay. I think stay is a good option. Maybe. You should leave or you stay with me. Despite your better judgment, you blurt out, stay with me. He stops and then looks up at you, eyes wide. Then he smiles. So soft and aching that it makes you regret what you must do. I'm not letting you go anytime soon. And you know what he says is true. He would sooner let the world burn than leave your side. You will be the death of him. I know, you murmured, pulling him closer and letting go of his hand to reach for the nape of his neck, where both of his marks lay. But you have to. You sigh and press your forehead against his. He stills. You notice the sigils on the floor then. Dante, he croaks. No! You trace the marks behind his neck and feel the light of your palm eviscerate the magic underneath. Dante, listen to me. You don't have to do this. You place a kiss against his forehead. This may very well be the last time you ever see him. You don't deserve the sight of his face. The war is over, Selby. There are no more tales to tell. You're nearly done erasing the curse on his neck. He pulls at your shirt. Dante! Dante! For X's sake! His voice breaks. At least look at me in the eye, you bastard! You shake your head. He chokes back a sob. Go. You are no longer needed here. I release you. And in a flash of lightning, he's gone. And you are alone once more. You inhale, tears foaming at the edges of your eyes. This was the right thing to do. It had to be. You exhale. If you're lucky enough, the council would look for him. Hopefully they'll be too preoccupied with their brides to search for the scraps. You open your eyes and stare at the empty space in front of you. There is no time for tears, and yet you let them fall all the same. The world continues to turn, and the work is never done. So this is what happened before Salvi came, huh? Wait. So sad though, bro. Okay, yeah, let's go back to the Astra and take a look at the last one. Okay, you should leave. You should leave. He stops and the two of you are forced into a standstill. You do not let him go. What? You cast your gaze off to the side, unable to look him in the eye. You pull him closer and let go of his hand to reach for the nape of his neck, where both of his marks lay. I don't. You shouldn't stay with me. He pushes at your chest, and you can smell the anger rolling off of him in waves. We already had this conversation, Dante. We made a pact, a contract. I am yours as you are mine. I will not leave. You sign and press your forehead. Okay, yeah, that should be it for our playthrough of What Remains of Us. This is actually a really well made game, especially it is made for a jam, which is have a time limit. But they have done very well actually. I really love everything. The designs and the art, the sprite, and a lot of CGs in here too. That's a really amazing what they can do during this the jam. I especially love the animation of you can see on the menu here. When you hover, it changes color, and when you move your mouse around, the menu screen also changes too. So that's really cool actually. It also the menu changes colors here also applies in the game too. So it's a really lively. The game feels very lively with their animations and stuff. And the story is pretty good too, along with the music. I like the voice acting, though sometimes it's kind of I kind of like didn't know if they would speak or not, and I just about to speak over their voice acting because it's a bit different kind of voice acting, since their story is written like a kind of like writing. It's not like dialogue or a screenplay or something like that. It's more of is more of writing. So for example, I don't want this, she said blah 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 blah. So the format is a bit different, so it's hard to voice act the part that they didn't have voice acting. Speaking of which, the voice acting is pretty good. I really like it. Oh, lovely. I don't think I can comment on the voice acting since I'm not. The thing I can say is it sounds great. I love everyone's voice, and it suits their characters and how they looks too. So really nice. And music is good. Then we move on to the story and the characters, I suppose. So the story is more of a story of when the heroes went on a journey to save the world, or at least I think in this situation is more like end the war or something. So generally they still considered heroes, the people with bravery to help save the world or change the world or help a third country, but it doesn't really end well for the heroes in the end, despite what they have done. They have ended the war, I guess, but the people are so politics, I suppose. People are greedy, or people are scared of what they can't control, so they plan for something nasty to the people, the other who has sacrificed their potential lifespan for them, because it's risky in a hero business. After all, you have fight monsters, you have fight rivals or enemies and stuff, and there is a chance that during that time you will be gone. It's not certain. The hero is not overpowered or invincible after all. So the general idea of the proof of protagonist here is, I like that. Related to that, I suppose. To make it more simple, it's more of the, I guess there's three group of heroes. One is a contracted being. I don't remember what kind of being Zoe was though. Was he a siren or something? He's not human after all. Definitely not human. And he contracted their guardian, their Dante. And then we have our protagonist, the main protagonist, that is, because we saw all the points of views from almost everyone important. So Divina, our protagonist, is a witch, I suppose, or a mage. Somehow my mind is playing tricks on me and I can't remember what that she was. Magic. All of them have magic. So the strongest magic should be Salvi, since he's made of magic and he's not human. So, and then maybe Dante and Divina is like matched in different parts of the magic, since one is maybe protection, strength, or everyone has their strengths and weakness. So what I understood was that Dante and Divina loved each other, and three of them has great bonds. They are best friends, but underneath they actually loved each other in a different way, except that for example, Dante and Divina loved Salvi in a different way too. So and then Salvi loves both of them too. So everyone loves each other in a romantic sense, but it's like Salvi doesn't tell any of them, and the both of them doesn't tell him. So what you thought it was a mono something, like a duo, turns out to be a trio. So a bully is three people who loves each other very much. So it's not, I guess, there two. Well, so generally it was supposed to be three people love each other, but it's the complication is that they're not telling each other anything of their feelings at all. So or they know, but they don't vocalize it. So, anyway, their self-sacrificing guardian tries to push people away in order to ensure their safety and sacrifice himself. And after their Salvi has been pushed away and reigned, and somehow met our protagonist Divina again. They talked, or well, not, I guess talked, and then share feelings, understand each other better, and then they went to save their the last part of the trial of the love. And then everything cuts down. Why? Why you do this to me? I mean, it's hopeful. It's hopeful that they'll be able to. They will go and help Dante, definitely, but we don't see the ending. We just see something. We just see Dante's point of view, just like what he did there. So I guess I was hoping to see any epilogues or the standard part of that, since I love happy endings. But this is also a kind of open ending that you can interpret it as you like. Maybe they'll fail, or maybe they're success. But the method there of the success, I'm not sure, but I'm sure they will succeed somehow. So, because despite the writing, it says only one love interest, but I'm seeing a lot of love interest here. I mean, the other one is we don't have a lot of interactions with them, but the hints is there, the romance is there. It's brief romance. It's like it's not you interacting with them and fall in love once again, but it's like they used to have feelings for each other. So I think that should be considered a love interest, but not at the same time. Things are so complicated here. Anyway, that should be it for our playthrough of What Remains of Us. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next playthrough of another game. Bye bye!